I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
What's going on, world?
What's happening?
We're KC Vibe, and we're back to vibe with you guys one more time.
Not just one more time. It's gonna be multiple more times, baby. One again.
You know how we do. Sit back, listen to this intro, and we'll be back in about 35 seconds. Oh, you know I love a good vibe.
Oh, I know you do. Hey.
Say, won't you come and vibe with us? You can vibe with us. You can come and vibe with us. Say, won't you come and vibe with us? You can vibe with us. You can come and vibe with us. Say, won't you come and vibe with us? You can vibe with us. You can come and vibe with us. Say, won't you come and vibe with us? And just like that, we are back.
Like we never left.
Listen. Before we get into today's topic, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for not putting out a new episode last week.
We've been busy, y'all.
It was a lot going on last week. We had band competitions. We also had my daughter, Azaria. She was a part of the ensemble of Matilda Jr., the musical. So she did 5 shows last week. They killed all of them shows. But yeah, they did 5 shows last week. Then my son had a band competition in St. Louis, which they came in second, indoor drumline.
Yep.
Killed that. And yeah, we just had a lot going on. Not to mention we squeezed in date night in that too. We went and saw B. Simone last week. So it was a lot going on. So we had to take a break from the podcast last week because one thing that we do is we record our podcast fresh. So
fresh than the bar of soap.
We don't pre-record our shows because we feel that if we record them fresh for you guys get to hear how we feel in the moment, in that moment.
Authenticity. If
I was to pre-record and something was to come up and I'd be like, dang, I wish I would have mentioned that while I was on the podcast. You know, it's too late to go back and edit. So we like to make everything authentic. So we just went ahead and took a mini break last week, but we back.
You know what I'm saying? This podcast is like hibachi. Fresh. In your face. Raw. I'm talking about raw. You feel me?
Okay.
Raw.
So today's topic. Today we are talking pet peeves. Oh, we gotta talk pet peeves because Lord knows I have pet peeves that my husband just ignores.
That sounds kind of personal there, would you?
All of our podcasts are personal.
Yeah, you took some extra person into that.
Look, so I got a couple different sorry, I got a text message. I got a couple different quotes. I know I usually hit you guys with one, but I got a couple different quotes this week. So the first quote is from Trista Sutter and says, "My biggest pet peeve is inconsiderate people." We'll run it back one more time. My biggest pet peeve is inconsiderate people. I say that because I think if you tell a person your pet peeve and they continue to do it, it's just inconsiderate.
Yeah, that's pretty much so. If you done stopped there and told them already, hey, look, I don't like this. I mean, yeah, it could be inconsiderate.
But with this being a relationship podcast, I figured we go ahead and put a relationship quote in here as well, right?
Okay.
So the quote is, ignoring your partner's needs and expecting a happy relationship is like ignoring your plants need water and still expecting a beautiful garden.
Okay, so yes,
You run
expect
it
a
back
beautiful
one more
garden.
time.
Go ahead.
It says ignoring your partner's needs and expecting a happy relationship is like ignoring your plants need water and still expecting a beautiful garden.
I don't think it's gonna work out too well if you don't water your plants and you expecting a beautiful garden.
Period.
I don't think that's gonna work.
So let's talk pet peeves.
Okay, go ahead.
There are a couple pet peeves that I have that my dear sweet husband ignores.
Yeah, what's that?
Go ahead, name some of my pet peeves.
You just want me to go off the dome and just name a couple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean the infamous leaving the toilet seat up.
That's not a pet peeve of mine.
Let's say if I'm the last one out the bed, making up the bed.
That is a partial pet peeve of mine.
Okay. I don't do this. Matter of fact, I never did this, so I can't say that's a pet peeve.
What's that?
Like drinking out the juice bottle.
That's not a pet peeve of mine either. You are missing my most important pet peeve.
Leaving my shoes in the middle of the floor.
No.
Well,
although that is a pet peeve. And you walking on my carpet with your shoes on, that's a pet peeve. Matter of fact, just before we started recording this podcast, he stepped on my toe with some sneakers on that he wasn't supposed to be wearing in the room to begin with.
Well, I was supposed to be going to go work out in the gym in the basement.
Still no excuses. He could have put his shoes on at the top of the basement stairs and not walked on my white carpet with them.
I was already ready to go work out.
So, you guys, my pet peeve has to do with the movie theater. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay. The pet peeve that my husband constantly ignores. I hate being late for a movie.
Wait a minute.
No. When we go to the movies, I hate being late.
Your definition of daggone late. What is your definition of late to the movie theater?
Okay, so if the movie starts at 7:00, I want to be in my seat about 6:45, 6:50. Okay, that gives me enough time to set up my snacks while the lights are still on, get my stuff open, because there's nothing like people rattling with snacks in the middle of the freaking movie. So getting all my snacks open, reclining my seat, letting my blanket out, turning my heat warmer on, because you know B&B got heat warmers, but turning my heat warmer on. Therefore, by the time the lights dim with the previews, I am in my seat, not using my flashlight, trying to see where the hell I'm going, and I'm ready for the movie. I get to see all the previews so I can know what's coming out, so I can know what I want to come see in the movie theater next. I'm comfortable, because walking in the movie when the lights have already dimmed down is hella dangerous. I saw a girl the other day. Look, last time, what did we go see? Me and the girls went and saw Mean Girls, the musical, right? And this girl was coming in late. Holding all her stuff in her hand and missed a step. And only thing I saw was a Stanley Cup fly underneath the seat. And she was just embarrassed.
Well, that's her goofy ass fault. There's lights lighting up the stairwell, so you can see where you're going and where you're stepping in.
But had she been on time for the movie, the lights would have still been on and she would have been able to walk up the stairs.
She probably had some heavy-ass shoes on.
Flawlessly.
She probably had some thick soles on her shoes.
Flawlessly.
And didn't realize.
That don't count, because I done went to the movie with heels on and still was able to walk up the stairs. It's because it was dark.
Baby.
So this is a pet peeve that I have. My dear, sweet, precious husband knows that I have this pet peeve, but yet and still he ignores it, and we are late every time we go to a movie.
I don't ignore it. See, me and you got different categories of being late. Like, if I'm there and the previews are still going on, I'm early. Okay.
How you know what
I'm
you
on
want to
time.
see next?
Because you can internet.
I
We
shouldn't
live in the
have
age of
to.
information.
If I'm paying
We live in the age of-
$100 a movie ticket,
TikTok.
I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna see it from beginning to the end. I'm not gonna get up
The
out of
movie
my
ain't
seat,
started
bruh.
yet.
I am going to see the opening credits when they playing the games that you can scan the QR code
That's
on your
not
phone,
the movie.
all the way through the last period.
That's not the movie.
The last period on the credits, because movie theaters cost too much for me to miss any part of the. I don't even like using the bathroom during the movie. Like, if I gotta pee, I'd be like, I gotta wait.
So you just gonna weaken your bladder.
I'm not weakening my bladder. Your 5 kids weaken my bladder. A movie theater drink ain't doing that.
Well,
but that's just me. I like to see the previews. I like to be like, that's what's coming out next.
Yeah. And it's all over TikTok. Every movie that's about to come out within the next 8 months is all over TikTok.
But the principle of the whole thing, like ignoring the fact that, I like being there on time and all that. The principle of the whole thing is, what bothers me, yet and still you continue to do it.
But it is not purposely.
At what point does it become inconsideration?
Well, it's not. It's only inconsiderate if I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, if I'm not doing it intentionally or on purpose, it can't be considered.
Yes, it is, because it has come to the point where I have to lie and tell you what time the movie starts. If the movie starts at 7:00, I gotta be like, yeah, Chad, the movie started at 6:30. Therefore, when we're getting there at 6:45, I'm actually on time for the movie.
You there when the movie ain't even started yet. Like, they just now getting out from the previous movie that they played.
No, they're not.
We've been there before. I'm like, dang, the screen ain't even on.
It gives me time to get situated. I'm not rushing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get stuff done. I don't have the movie people looking for me in the dark to deliver my food. None of that. Everything's already taken care of. We're sit back, we're relaxed, we're comfortable, we're ready to watch the movie.
Yeah, I get it.
But what a lot of people don't get when it comes to relationships is just the small stuff like that goes a long way. For you to be considerate enough to be like, you know what? My wife enjoys the previews. Let me make sure that I'm on time so that she can watch these previews.
And we have been.
But you don't. It literally takes me getting mad every time we go to the movie theater.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you that the last couple of times, as long as a person is making an effort to do better, that should be seen too. The last couple of times that we've gotten ready for movies, I've made sure that I've been on time. But I can't count.
When that though? You said for how long?
For the last couple of times.
For the last couple of times in 2024. We have been together almost 17 years, and we have been going to the movie theaters for that long, and I've been had this same attitude. But it's the past couple of times, 17 years later, that you decide, you know what, she want to be on time. Maybe we should be on time. No. Okay. But it's inconsiderate.
You have to look at the fact that if a person is making an effort to do better, no matter if it took them 12 months or 17 years, they're making that effort to do better. That has to be taken into consideration. And all those times were not my fault. Did you forget that we got kids?
Chad, when we go to the movie solo dolo more than we go to the movies with our kids.
Yeah, recently.
No, period.
It hasn't been like that.
It's been like that for a lot. And when we go to the movies with our kids, we go to early movies. Like early movies.
Yeah.
So no, that's not it. But when we have pet peeves that irk your partner's nerves, you should not just sit back and ignore that.
Nah,
you have pet peeves, right? That grind your gears. Yeah. One of your biggest pet peeves, you hate when someone takes the trash out and doesn't put the trash bag back in the trash can.
Yeah, that's one though.
That's a pet peeve of yours. Another pet peeve is when our son cuts the backyard and he leaves the lawnmower just sitting out there in the yard.
It ain't just that.
It's,
When he
it's a
leave the
pet peeve.
lawnmower out there, don't empty the little bag on the back of the lawnmower with the lawn clippings. Just leave all that stuff out there. Yeah.
But it's a pet peeve of yours.
It's a pet
And
peeve.
the main thing you say when you fuss about those pet peeves is, son, that's just inconsiderate. You're not taking into consideration the next person that has to come behind you.
Yeah, that's one of the words I say. I mean, it's not just inconsiderate, it's lazy too. So
I can say it's inconsiderate and lazy for you to know my pet peeve and just ignore.
Hold on now.
Right?
You're going overboard.
No,
You're going overboard.
I can say that it is inconsiderate and lazy.
So what was the main reason?
Know my pet peeves and ignore it.
You know, one of the things I struggle with is finding what I'm aware. You know that. I mean, for a man, I struggle with that. I struggle with finding what I'm aware. So the thing that it take me longest to do is get dressed. And so if we impromptu,
which brings me to my next point. Another pet peeve of mine.
What's that?
I hate when you ask me how something looks and I tell you the truth and you get an attitude.
Wait a minute. That ain't.
I hate when you come out and be like, babe, should I wear these shoes with this? And I'll be like, nah, I don't think that look right. And you be like, well, what the heck am I supposed to wear then?
You talking about that one time?
Chat, it's not one time. It happens it happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one time
when you came out with another pet peeve, that ugly shirt. I hate that shirt.
Look, the only time
I bought that shirt for you to wear one time on Easter.
Look,
6 years ago, when our kids were little and they had the matching shirts.
Let me explain.
That one time.
Let me explain.
And I told you, Chad, when you wear that shirt, you look like a daggone picnic tablecloth. Okay. But yet and still, you still wear that shirt.
Okay, we're talking about pet peeves, but also consideration. So, look at this. I'm being considerate, but are you? Can I explain?
Okay.
I only wear this shirt to work when I'm not around you. I'm not going to be around you for 5 to 6, 7, 8 hours or whatever. I'm wearing this shirt when I'm not around you. And it's actually one of my favorite shirts.
I don't know why.
So that's considerate.
I don't know why.
That's very considerate.
I don't know
and
why.
You should take into consideration that my husband does not wear this shirt around me. So
I'm
grateful for that.
Dang, that's the shirt right there on the couch right now. It's haunting me.
Yes, it's right.
The shirt is freaking haunting me. That's the one thing. But you came out with that ugly shirt on. And you looked at me and you said, babe, it's an ugly shirt. You came outside with this ugly shirt on and you looked at me and you said, babe, do these shoes look right? And I said, personally, no. And you got mad. Well, what am I supposed to wear?
Mad.
You expect me to put on some dress shoes with this shirt? Like, you went off. And I'm like, bruh, don't ask me for something. And then when I give you my opinion, you get an attitude on it. It happens more often than none.
Kanisha, let me tell you something. You be thinking that I'm going to get mad when I don't be mad.
You be snappy.
Sometimes I come off rather aggressive sometimes.
For what,
mistakenly, not even meaning to. That's just my personality. You know that sometimes. Sometimes. I done gotten better with that throughout the years, though. But taking into consideration the fact that, okay, I might have came off like that, but I apologize. Right? I apologize. So, that is something
you just get angry for no reason.
Don't be angry.
So that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm still waiting. We are 18 minutes in, and you still have not given me a pet peeve that I do because you don't have any. Because every time you say something irritates you, I correct it.
I'm finna.
So let's go.
Okay, I don't game as much as I used to, but when I used to game and play Call of Duty, right in the middle of a match, you would call me, wanting me to do something, and I understand I gotta do something for you. But I'm like, baby, hold on for a second. But you did not understand, hold on, because You thinking I can just get off the game? That game is
Whoa,
live.
time
That
out.
game is live. I just can't stop playing
When
Call of
Chadwick
Duty.
told you the same thing
Wait a minute.
last week,
Wait a minute.
you got an attitude and you shut down the whole system.
There was two different things.
No.
Let
It's
me
not
explain.
two different
Let me
things.
explain.
You don't know how to take what you dish out.
I told him, I said, Rick, when you get done with this round, come do this right here. I gave him an opportunity to get done with the round he was playing and then come help me before starting the new round. He started a new round. That's why I got pissed off.
And when I asked you to do something, don't sit here and lie to the people like you had just got on the game. You be on the game. You used to be on the game for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours.
I used to. Yeah, I can admit
And when
that.
I asked you to do something after 5 years of being on the game, it's like, bruh, can you help for a second? Another pet peeve of mine. I'm glad you brought that up.
You told me to
Another pet peeve of mine. When I ask my husband to do something for me, his go-to is to ask one of my children to do it instead. So if I'm like, baby, can you bring me a glass of water?
No.
He'll be like,
no.
AJ, can you get your mom a glass of water?
Not with
I'll be
that.
like,
Not with
baby,
that.
can you take out this trash?
Yeah, probably with that. Yeah.
Rick, can you take that trash out?
I say that.
And I say, I'm not
But
asking
not the
them to do it. I'm asking you to do it for me.
Get it.
And what you fail to do is see the big picture of things. And that's what happens in a lot of relationships. A lot of relationships, people look at the small things and be like, oh, you're always complaining. You're always bickering. You're always worried about this. If it's getting taken care of, who cares how it's getting taken care of? And they're doing that, but they're failing to look at the big picture. It's like, if I ask you to do something, I'm dependent on you to do something. I'm entrusting you to do something. I expect you to do it for me and not put it off on somebody else to do. If I'm expecting you to have me somewhere on time, I'm expecting to be there on time. I don't expect for you to just brush it over because you feel that it's not as important.
I never said it wasn't important. It is important. I get it. But the reason why I do that, like, you ask me for a glass of water, I never tell my kids to go get you a glass of water.
I'm just saying that was an example. When I ask you to do something, you ask other people to do it for you.
Maybe with the trash, like, the trash need to be taken out. You say, baby, can you take this out? Yes, I'm going to tell Rick to take it out. Because I'm like, okay, well, he ain't doing nothing. He can do, that's part of his duties anyway, his chores anyway. So he can take the trash out. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. You know, but if you're looking at it from a different perspective, that's when we need to communicate and be like, hey, look, baby, the reason I asked you to take this out because, you know, for some reason I want you to do it. You know
that's fine if that communication works, though. The issue sets in is after I've communicated these feelings to you and you still decide to do what you want to do.
But what am
like I said, even with the simplex stuff like the movie theater, I have been communicating for you for almost a decade how I feel about the movies. And you said it wasn't until just recently you started taking that into consideration.
I really did not know how serious it was until you actually expressed it like in a certain way. You just expressed this in a certain way this year. Or was it late last year? You expressed it in a certain way. I'm like, damn, you really serious about that.
But why should I have to break everything down play by play? Why can't you just be like, okay, you know what? My wife wants to do this for a certain reason. Let's just go ahead and do it. I shouldn't have to break down everything for you.
You shouldn't.
And that's where it comes in, where not addressing or not comprehending people's pet peeves turn into people being inconsiderate, because you know how I feel about a certain situation, but yet and still you're gonna do what you want to do anyway.
But what you just said earlier, you said it's a small things, right? To me, that was a small thing. I'm like, being on time to a movie is not serious. So it's just, to me, it's like, okay, it's not that serious being at the movie on time. We'll get there and we're going to watch the movie. And it was a small matter to me, but not looking at your side as it being a bigger matter, you know, I didn't take that into perspective. But I finally realized it after we had that in-depth, because we had an in-depth conversation. We had a very in-depth conversation about
But
this.
the moral of the story is it shouldn't take that.
It shouldn't take that, but at the same time, it's small stuff. That's what people got to work on. The small issues that you may have that I'm thinking not that seriously, or I may have that you think ain't that serious. We have to look at stuff like that.
You keep saying that word, and she thinks you're talking to her. That's why it keeps popping on. The S word.
I'm saying serious.
And she thinks you're talking to her.
Serious?
Yes. That's why it keeps popping on.
Oh, well, my bad. I hope that didn't go over my recording, did it?
No.
Okay. But that's what it is, though.
But at the same time, it should be... I should be able to tell you that I don't like something without going into depth details about it, right?
Yeah,
right.
I get it.
You should be able to tell me, babe, I don't like that without going into details. Like, if you look at me and be like, babe, I don't like Brussels sprouts. I shouldn't be like, well, why don't you like Brussels sprouts? Well, how'd you have Brussels sprouts last time you had it? Well, who cooked those Brussels sprouts to you?
It's like compare oranges to apple, baby.
They're both fruit.
Look,
they're both fruit.
Yeah, they're both fruit, but they're different fruit. You have to look at it like this. You talking about Brussels sprouts? It's not complex. We talking about being on time for a movie theater. There's a lot of complexity.
It's not really that
complex.
That
means we gotta make sure.
Because at the end of the day, whether it's apples or oranges, it still squeezes into juice. It goes to the same freaking consistency.
Come on, now. Are you
Right?
serious right now?
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Right?
Are you kidding?
It's the truth.
The girl said they bullshit.
It's the truth.
Okay.
So the small matters and the big matters, I think you should treat even the smaller, less complex things the same way that you would the larger complex things, because it's your significant other's feelings that you're taking into consideration.
With that, honey, I do. But like I said, there's more complexity to certain things that are. We look at the big stuff and we're like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be serious. We got to make sure we do this. We got to make sure we do that. When it comes to holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, that's the stuff that we really look at. But small stuff, for example, like the movie theater, like we've been talking about, we don't look at that as serious. Or me gaming or whatever, or me trying to get a workout in, somebody calling me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that we don't look at.
That is where relationships nowadays are suffering.
Yeah.
So now that we're getting to the nitty gritty, that is where relationships now are suffering. Yeah. Because it's not just the fact that you're gaming, you're getting your game on and all that. No, it's the fact that you're taking hours out of time that we can be spending together to argue with some 12-year-old in China about what's going on. So it's not just oh, if I remember our anniversary and your birthday, we Gucci. Who cares if we not really on time for movies all the time? No, you should take everything into consideration. I absolutely agree. And where relationships lack is people don't know how to take everything into consideration, because what you don't realize is what's small and nothing major to you might mean the whole world to your significant other.
And that when communication comes along, that's when you try to find that information.
But it's hard to communicate to someone. Matter of fact, let me get you this quote right here. You looking for a quote? Let me get you a quote. This quote says, "You cannot change someone who does not see an issue with their actions." So if you don't see what you're doing wrong as being wrong, no matter how much I tell you that is wrong, you're not going to see it. I.e. the movie situation. No matter how many times I be like, baby, I just really want to be on time for this movie. Because what blows me about you, you say the longest thing is you getting ready, right? I can get ready take a shower, do my hair, do my lashes, do my eyebrows, do my face routine, put on Smell Good, FaceTime my homegirl, dance to some music, FaceTime my sister, get my shoes out, make sure everything's tied up, get 120%, and I'm still looking at you brushing your hair in the mirror trying to figure out what shoes you want to wear. And it brings me to this point. I have told you time and time again, one thing about it is if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. If you know we're going to the movie theater at 7:00 p.m., maybe, just maybe, you should not wait until 6:00 p.m. to start getting your stuff together. Because that's that small thing. Do you really care about me? Do you really care about going out with me if you just now crawling out getting your stuff together an hour before the actual event starts?
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you said with that quote, I realized that, okay, I was wrong. Now I'm trying to get it right. And now I'm starting to get ready a whole lot earlier when I know that we got something planned.
Yeah.
Hell, the last time, matter of fact, we went to the comedy club last weekend. I was ready before you were.
No, you weren't.
Yes,
I was in the car.
Nah, I was ready before you were.
No, you weren't. I was in the car.
I was ready before you were.
And if by ready you mean at the end of the, like right before we walked out the door when I decided to change my shoes, is that what you're referring to?
I was reading a book.
Listen, y'all, I took my shoes, I took my heels down an inch and decided to wear a heel that was smaller than the heels that I had on because I was like, if the parking garage is closed, I'm going to have to walk, and I'm not trying to walk from the parking lot down the road to the comedy club in 3.5-inch stilettos.
No, I was reading a book. I was reading a book waiting on you.
No, you literally sat down and I said, okay, baby. You said, ooh, I just sat down to read this book. So don't play with me. Don't play with me.
No, okay.
Don't play with me. Right. But you are starting to realize the stuff like that. But there's a lot of relationships out there that significant others aren't realizing that stuff. Mm-hmm. They're not realizing how stuff that's small to them is very impactful to their significant other, to their partner. How them not doing one thing really affects their partner in a way that they don't even know because they just think it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like they just think it's nothing. And it's the small things. Like there's small things that I do as your wife for you that I think that you will like or you will find enjoyable and all that other stuff. It doesn't have to be your birthday. It doesn't have to be our anniversary, no special occasion. This is just because I'm being considerate type thing. You know what I'm saying? And what so many relationships lack nowadays is that little pinch. Sometimes you just need to add like a pinch of salt in your relationship. Just give it a little bit of flavor because if not, it's going to be bland. It's not going to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. If you get robotic and you start doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's going to be bland.
Yeah, I mean.
And who wants bland?
You get bored with that.
Yeah, it gets extremely boring. So by you constantly spicing stuff up, constantly putting different flavor in there, constantly looking to improve your relationships, that's what's going to make it that much stronger. And sometimes that involves you actually listening to what your significant other says and taking that into consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
So the next time we go to the movies, are we going to be on time or are you going to be on time for the previews?
Were we on time to the last one?
Were we on time? No.
Oh, yes, we were. Were.
No, we weren't. You want to know why we weren't on time for the last one?
Uh-huh.
Let me remind you, Sunshine. You want to know why we weren't on time for the last one?
What was that?
Because you started driving to the wrong movie theater.
Oh, okay, but I was ready to go. I mean, I thought we was going to a different one. But
and we were like,
I remember that. Yeah,
you started driving in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think I go to Independence, and we're supposed to go to Leewood.
Yeah, you were driving in complete opposite direction. So no, we weren't on time for the last one.
Well, okay, that wasn't just my fault though. That was because I thought we were going to a different theater.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you guys, we are 3 minutes over our time.
Ain't no such thing.
There is a such thing as being over our time. We need to stop doing that. So, on that note, as we wrap up here, my biggest point, the point that I want to get across, if you guys didn't hear anything else, I know this is a bunch of back and forth type bickering type stuff today.
That's what people go through.
But if you guys don't get anything out of this podcast, I want you to get this out. Maybe if you go through and you treat everything like a big deal, the big deals won't happen. If you take the small things that's bothering your significant others and you try to tweak and you try to fix that, maybe, just maybe, that will help bigger problems from developing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your partner doesn't like you leaving your underwear on the floor right next to the dirty clothes hamper, every now and again, turn into LeBron James and shoot them dirty drawers into the hamper and actually make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one less thing for them to complain about. And then don't think they won't notice. They'll walk in and be like, oh, he actually picked it up today. Because we do that same thing when it comes to our kids. Yeah. When our kids do something, you be built up, having your voice ready to fuss. And you walk in and you be like, oh, they actually did it. Yeah. Oh, they actually did it. And that right there will help bigger problems from developing. Because like we've said in podcasts before, sometimes it's a snowball effect. Sometimes it's the smaller things that just keep rolling and rolling and rolling until the ball gets bigger and bigger and you got a whole freaking avalanche. So stop the small things to help prevent those big things. Yep.
Not bad.
Didn't I say another pet peeve? I asked him to put his phone on vibrate every time we record, but lo and behold, his phone just to be a ding-a-ling-a-linging through the whole thing.
They want my personal phone. That's my work phone. You know, I got a work phone.
Anything else you want to add, baby?
Yeah, I'm just piggyback, man. Yo, just the small things, you know. Sometimes you got to put that on a microscope and, you know, broaden that out a little bit and work on that. Because it can, like Kanisha said, turn to something bigger. And you thinking that it ain't that serious when it really is serious to the person that you're with. So.
You too far from the mic.
Too far from the mic? My bad. Y'all can't hear me? My fault. So, yeah. Put those small problems under a microscope lens and work on that because it could save your relationship and it could save you a whole lot of drama going forward. And that's what I got.
Yeah. Well, as always, if you guys got something you want to add, you got a question you want to ask. Got a question you want to ask, go ahead and hit us up on the email askkcvibe@gmail.com. That's askkcvibe@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on all of our socials. KC Vibe Podcast on Facebook, KC Vibe Podcast on TikTok. If y'all want to follow me on TikTok, I'm AYO_KO and the number 2. That's AYO_KAYO and the number 2.
All right. You can hit me up on Linktree. That's up on Linktree.
Because Chad don't know none of his socials. Yeah. So if you want to get in contact with the C or KC Vibe, look at the details. Don't forget to like and share this podcast, you guys. Like the Facebook page and turn on your notifications so you guys will know when we go live.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's all we got.
That's all we got?
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in again this week, you guys. Again, once again, sorry about last week. But you know what? We back.
Bad like we never left.
Yep. And with that being said, we'll be back again next Friday. Until then, go ahead and share with your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your cousins. Go back and re-listen to some of the podcasts. And if we haven't talked about something that you want to hear us talk about, go ahead and hit us up and let us know what it is. As usual, I am the K.
And I'm the C.
Thanks for vibing with us. Bye.
Bye.